All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on our walk. We're going to cross the Rainbow Bridge. Hope you're enjoying the walk today. We'll get some nice sunshine. And we're in Lewiston, Maine. We're going to be heading over to Auburn, Maine. This is the Simard Payne Park. They have rejuvenated this area. A sign telling us no public consumption of alcohol. And we have a canal here. It is a little chilly today. So we're going to take a walk around, and there is a place to park over there. I didn't know if I could park there. Apparently I can. So hopefully this wind canceling thing is working like it's supposed to. Still a little windy today. Thank you for joining me on this walk. So we got the frozen canal here. We're going to take a walk around this park. We're going to cross the river. We're going to go into Auburn. Sunshine is out today, which is always nice. And looks like somebody's been doing laps with their skis. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, the GoPro that I have strapped to my head is set on linear with the horizontal setting. I have the white balance set at auto. I took the stabilizing off because it stabilizes itself okay. And this is the kind of thing that always surprises me, is we have moving water from a river. It's the Androscoggin River. You might remember my last walk, we crossed that bridge and went up that way. This time we're going to go this way to the left. You can see the ice right here, and there's footprints in the ice when that was snow on there. Somebody walked out there, and this is moving water. That's a very dangerous thing to do on the river, and that's how people drown. They don't understand what hypothermia is. Hypothermia can come on you in less than a minute in cold water. Then you lose the use of your arms and you drown. People don't realize the danger, so they come out here and do this foolishly. We had a stretch that was pretty cold, but it's been an unusually mild winter, so that is not a smart thing to do. So anyway, this is the Simard Park, and it was named after Officer Simard, who was killed in the line of duty. So they named this park. And hats go off to law enforcement who put their lives on the line, protect everybody. You can see, I don't know where they went, but we had some waterfowl doing some waterfowl stuff in the water, like waterfowl does. So, I mean, you can see the fractures in the ice there. You know, I have no idea why people would go walking on that or think that was a good idea. Just to see if they could do it, I guess. And we got a duck right there. It's out there ducking around. I actually don't like where I parked, so I might go move my car before we really get this going, but through the marvels of editing, you won't notice it. And the reason why I say that is because I came down here and the parking area on the corner up the road that's supposed to be free parking for the public on the weekends is not open for free parking. So I had to park off to the side, and I didn't know that we could just park on this area. So we're going to come back this way. I'll be back with you in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back again. I'm gonna finish our walk. As you can see, all the ice here just starting to melt. It is chilly today. Chilly but not cold. It's windy. That's the problem. And we're going to go for a nice walk. I want to get my 5 miles in. I don't think we'll be videoing for the entire walk, but we will get enough video to make a walk at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And again, I want to thank you for coming, and I am going to make sure I am recording. I am. I know it looks funny doing that, but I do have an app for the GoPro, but I have to hook onto the Wi-Fi, and my Google Fit app, while it's not using Wi-Fi, might interfere with it. So I want to I keep track of my walks and my mileage and all that. So that's why I physically check with my camera to make sure the record light's on, because I can't see it on my head. Anyways, Cities of the Androscoggin, Lewiston Auburn. And we have the Maine, state of Maine flag, the old one. They have a new stupid looking one. They went back to the 1800s or late 1700s for some reason. We have the police department flag and the good old USA flag, which looks nice. Beautiful day today. So anyway, I think this time of day it'll be safe to leave my car in this neighborhood. Over here we have Native Americans and Wabanaki history. Have that in French too. Histoire Wabanaki. Basically the Androscoggin Indians, Lewiston Auburn at the falls up here. The Native Americans lived. This was their main area they lived in, where they first met the British. I bet they regret that. And, you know, like all Native Americans, they were nice. And they ended up getting screwed. So we could see that sheet of ice that came out there, and people were walking on that, which is insane to me. We've got some ducks here. That's kind of cool. It's like he's paddling upstream. I could see his little feet, and he's not going anywhere because he's going the same speed as the current. He's just enjoying himself. So this is a nice place. They turned this old train trestle here into a pedestrian crossing. And a long time ago, but when I was a kid, this still had train tracks on it, and it wasn't being used for trains. It was not safe enough for modern trains, I guess. They were heavier, freight trains. And there used to be a train station down here. That brick building with the pointed peak, the short little building, that used to be a train station. So the train would come in here, and people would get on the train, obviously. And so that's all changed. Progress, time moves on. So it's safe enough for a people passage. Then we have another bridge over there. And some more ducks playing in the water. Again, I hope you're not hearing the wind too loud. It is breezy today. But we got ducks playing down there. I got some over there. Water's moving pretty fast. Not that it would matter if you fell in, because the water's cold. You wouldn't live long. Let's come take a look on this side. I put this little perch out here. And over here, you see that orange cap? That is the cap for a syringe plunger. So somebody's been shooting drugs over here. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that just lovely? Here's the other cap to the syringe. And there's the syringe right here. I'm going to be very careful. I'll be very careful with that. I might have hepatitis on it, HIV, something. And put the cap on there safely. Should be a trash can up ahead. Normally I would just kind of like be tempted to throw it off into the water, but who knows what that'll do to animals. Now that could very well be somebody with diabetes, but I think we know better. People with diabetes usually carry a kit with them and they take care of their stuff like that because they've been doing it for a long time. So, and I was very careful not to stick myself with that needle, but there's a trash can up here. And I know they probably don't want bio waste in there, but I'm not going to leave it out here for a little kid to stick themselves with. So this is kind of, we're going to be walking in what I would call through a needle park, as it were. The city of Auburn got a lot of the homeless people removed. Not to say that the homeless people were causing the drug problem, but there's a lot of homeless people that are addicts. And like I said, I have protection. Absolutely will not come down to these areas without it. So there's this old train brake stop thing here, and I have a park here with a flag. Commercial pet waste. That's to put your dog crap in. We are going to throw that in there. So anyway, we got Bonney Park right here. Auburn police officer Rodney Rocky Bonney died in the line of duty attempting a rescue of a youth from these frozen waters. So the police officer jumped in the cold water, like I was telling you, with people that walk out on the ice. And he tried to save a kid that was in the water that was going to freeze and drown, and he ended up dying. So thank you very much. That was 1981. Now this walkway here is one of the newer additions here a few years ago. And you walk down this walkway and bikeway, trailway. It goes all the way to that bridge and those waterfalls that I filmed in the previous video, if you want to check that out. And so anyway, this is the park down here. Many years ago I used to live in Auburn over here, and I would cut across this trestle to go to work every morning. I worked over there, so I'm familiar that this neighborhood is not a savory neighborhood any longer. So anybody going by could be a problem. Most will not be. I'm not being paranoid, I'm just being realistic. We already found a syringe. And a lot of these people that do drugs, a lot of times they're desperate for money. And if they think you might have some, they might try to take it. So we're going to walk through this part of the walkway here. Now, this used to have train tracks underneath it when we were kids, and they removed it. So the train used to run underneath the road, which obviously that pipe wasn't there. So we're going to walk on through here. Let's see. we got something here. Somebody blotted it out, and then you die. So I'm guessing it probably says F you, then you die. Go to bleak and hell world. And let's get high. That's what it says. So, a little bit of drug culture, graffiti on the walls. Voice in my ear told me I walked 1 mile. We have another syringe cover. They don't do that in the daytime here. They come here at night. And I'm sure some police probably come here. I mean, you really don't have anything here to prevent you. You can just walk down here. And there's a trail. People just walk down here, so... Well, that's depressing. So anyway, we're gonna walk on anyway. We'll try to avoid the drug cartels. And we have a sign that says no loitering, which presumably that means no hanging around shooting drugs either. So that's the old Edward Little High School. I don't know what they use it for now anymore up there, but we've gone from having a high school up there with kids playing outside to people shooting drugs. And over here we get the Little Androscoggin River, which comes down and bends this way. And obviously this was all flooded not long ago, which it does. So they have signs saying it's smoke-free, tobacco-free. But hey, pull up a bridge overpass and shoot some drugs. So anyway, we used to go swim down there, my brother and I. It's pretty shallow, Little Androscoggin River. The water was crystal clear. It was nice. So we are going to walk up this way. And we have a homeless tent right there with some blue canvas, blue awning. So somebody's living in there. And there's a 50-gallon drum there. I'll bet you any money that sometimes people burn stuff in there to keep warm. So they chased a lot of the homeless people down here. They were on the other side of this embankment, down by the Little Androscoggin River. And there was a whole bunch of people living all through these woods, homeless. And they're all gone now, so you have to wonder where they went. I noticed there's a lot more in Lewiston, so they just walked across that trestle we crossed, and they went into Lewiston. It's basically what happened. And we have a Democrat mayor and some other liberal fools who really don't do anything to help the homeless people by doing things to make sure they're not homeless anymore, which is what people should do. They just tell people they're bigots for not wanting to look at them in public. And, you know, some of these homeless people are cool people, and some of them are not. So we could see somebody's been down here picking through the trash can, probably looking for empty bottles. Cash those in and go buy some ramen noodles or something. So anyway, I just wanted to bring, you know, there's a lot of video online where you have people You know, Lewiston Auburn, they put music in the background, they send up a drone, and everything looks beautiful. But they never show the real parts of it. So, I hope you enjoy my video for that. Now, when I was a kid, what a horrible thing this was. I came down here, went that way. I was going way too fast. And you can see this turn right here. I did not make that turn. I tried my best to hold the bike. It was a kind of a BMX or Schwinn style BMX bicycle. Could not hold that turn. Went right off the road into a big pile of rocks where that water is running. Have no idea how I wasn't killed, but it was one of the worst wipeouts I ever had when I was a teenager. I stripped the handlebars, I bent the bike frame, and it was my brother's bike. So not only did I wipe out in a pile of rocks, but I had to carry that bike all the way home with a bent frame, couldn't ride it. And my elbow was messed up, my leg hurt, and I was scraped up. Thankfully I didn't break anything, except his bike. But he wasn't happy about what happened to his bike, but he was glad I didn't get killed, which is always good. But anyway, that is a story that happened. So now I'm gonna walk down this way, and or I might be able to hop up on here and go this way rather than walk through that parking lot. I think I can do that from here, because I can see the railroad ties, and that's what I need to get on. So we're gonna go up there and get on those tracks, see if I can take this shortcut, because like I said, I'm recording video and I want to get that on video. I'll go down here, I'll walk across here. Let's see if I can go this way. I should be able to, because I want to follow that river, Little Androscoggin. So we want to head up to the Barker Mill Dam. I was telling you, we'll head up that way. There's a red grocery shopping basket there with some cans in it, which I'm assuming somebody's collecting empties. And we got the Little Androscoggin River down here. It was nice. And we're gonna get up on this main part of the trail. And we have a can here. This can has been shot up. I am assuming that is from BBs or pellets from kids. Because I do not believe, yeah, they are. That's not a 22. Firearms are not illegal to be discharged in the city like this, and somebody would call because there's houses nearby. So they had to have been a BB gun. So it is a beautiful day today. I took my face thing off. I'm not getting all that wind anymore. Now there was a place down here in that building that for a while was selling wood hockey sticks for $5. So I came down here and bought a whole bunch of hockey sticks, and they were a little short. So what I would do is, after I broke one, I took a piece of the shaft and a couple pieces of metal with some screws, and I screwed extensions onto these hockey sticks, because I'm not short. Now you see why I walked the way I did, because we just would have seen paved road. So we're going to head down this way. Now I'm starting to get warm because that sun is getting warmer, and you can see how stuff is melting. So we're cruising along. We'll get to where we're going eventually. Still recording. Check that once in a while. Now, I got a feeling I'm gonna have to cut across some snow again. I should have come in from the Lewiston side to where the dam is, but I can get there this way, I believe. Hope so anyways. It might be different now. They might have changed something. Tough telling, not knowing. And you really can't go by Google Maps, because Google Maps might have changed. And this is an old part of Auburn right here. So we got a trail right there. That's what I'm looking for. So let's cut over. So I'm trying to make an interesting walk. I think we're doing all right. I wanted to do this later in the spring. I can always come back, but come in from the other side of the river later on when all the snow melts. Walking in this snow is not my favorite thing to do. Oh. But this is what I was looking for. I know where this goes because we used to come down here when we were kids. Been quite a few years since I've been down here, so I never know what to expect. I might be walking into a Hills Have Eyes movie for all I know. I'll be somebody's dinner later. All right, I can hear some waterfalls. I'm getting close. Yep, I can see the river. All right, we're coming up on the Barker Mill Dam, it's called. It's the dam. We have a dam. See some water running there. That's an old folks home in that building, some of it. Some of it is other stuff. I believe there's some administrative offices in there. Might not be an old folks home anymore, I have no idea. But we are going to see what I wanted to see. You can hear the water from here. And this water is going to interfere with the wind noise feature on here to remove wind noise. I do have to be careful if they open the dam because I don't want to get washed away. So if I hear a siren, I'm gonna run. Just found a frozen rock. That's why I was hanging on to that branch. There we go. You can see why I came down here. So I do have to be careful here. If I hear the siren going off, I'm going to have to hurry up and get to higher ground. Not so bad in the summertime because you can just run up the hill. But in the wintertime, more of a challenge. So anyway, we just had a flood here. So we got this big tree. Don't know how long this has been here. Hope you're enjoying the view. We've got a big giant rock. We could tell water was running underneath this. We haven't had a lot of rain lately. So there we have a big giant mound of ice that has frozen from spray that comes off the falls. This is as close as I'm going to get, because what I don't want is I don't want a bunch of mist freezing on the GoPro. It looked like I was about as close as I could get without getting mist on me. There we go. I'm glad at my age, at 55, I can still climb. I'm very happy about that. I still have my athletic ability. Now I got to go back up here so we can go down. We're going to go up top, look at the dam from the top. So, let's get up the hill here. Do my equipment check. Make sure I didn't lose my keys, my wallet, or anything else. So during all that flood water we just had, this was a raging torrent. And I believe last year they found a dead body floating here. Either last year or the year before. Somebody that died upstream. Ooh, snow's starting to get soft here. Warming up in the sun. So this is the dam. And it was called the Barker Mill Dam because there used to be a Barker Mill. Let's take a look over the ledge if we can. sure what you can see down there, if anything. You can see pretty good from the other side. But this is the side I came from today. When all of this melts and we have spring and there's leaves on the trees, we'll come back this way and we'll come from the other side. And we'll go down, cross the river. There'll be less water running during the summertime. So here we are here. I was hoping we'd have some today, but we don't. There's a lot of times you would see these big whirlpools right here. The water would start doing like a drain with the dam open, and you would hear like a suction sound, like you would expect. There's a thin sheet of ice on here. See that? Obviously not safe to walk on. But anyway, Androscoggin River keeps going that way. It'll eventually make its way to the ocean, which is about 20 miles from here. That's something else I should do too. Should do a trip to the ocean at some point. So I'm going to check my mileage. I'm almost at 2 miles. I want to do 5 today. So I want to see if I can walk it down there. There's not really anything to see down this way. Can see some water running though. So you could follow these old railroad tracks for miles and miles. But we're not going to do that. We are going to come down here though. There we go. Walk down to this thing. This little pier. Hopefully we don't see anything scary. I could see some giant pieces of wood down there. I just don't want to see any faces looking up at me, that's all I'm saying. You never know down here because this collects everything that fell in upstream. And ooh, that's the EBGBs just thinking about it. I don't know what used to be here. I don't know if this used to be a bridge across. They got a sign that says danger, dam ahead, because people do take their canoes on here and kayaks. I suppose they would need to know that, I would reckon. So I think we'll head back. There's enough walking for today because I'm gonna double the walking time. I think I'll come up here and see what's over here just for the heck of it. I haven't been over here for many years. I don't expect to see anything. Yep. Well, we just have some water running down here. Shopping cart. So, you know, then you got a street up there with businesses on it, and This is just over the edge, out of sight. Out of sight, man. So again, thank you very much for coming with me. We're gonna walk back. We're gonna walk back. Just checking my battery again. There's nothing worse than coming out for a walk like this and you're wearing a camera then your battery dies and you don't know it. But this does indicate to me when the battery runs out. It used to indicate to me when there was 20 minutes left and it would turn off, and then I wouldn't know it turned off, so I turned that off. So now it runs until the battery is dead. So we're gonna head back. It is a nice day today. We're gonna have some 40 degree and 40 degree plus temperatures coming up, so I'll definitely be doing some walking in that. Still a little cool today, but we'll be all right. We'll trudge on back through Needle Park. Get another shot of that ice structure. There's a lot of water in that. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, heading back. I'm going 2 miles. I want to get my 5 miles in, but like I said, I'm not going to record all 5 miles. But I just wanted to share this aspect with you. I'm going to get a short video with my cell phone. right. Thank you for allowing me to record that with my cell phone. Hopefully it wasn't too annoying. Now we'll see if I can get back to my buggy without getting mugged for drug money. Well, this place brings back a lot of good memories. I'm glad I came. It's been a long time since I've been here. So what a good excuse as any than to go out and record it with a GoPro. Glad you're along for the walk. I'm gonna trudge my way back here. Now, if it was in the summertime, I'd go down here, you know, but I don't know what there is for rocks and logs under the snow. I don't need to break my ankle. Somebody else has been down here, but I want to get over that way, and I don't think I can cross over there. So sometime in the summer I will go down here, we'll check everything out, but I'm going to come in from the other side and we're going to go across the river because it'll be running low then. I'll be able to walk across parts of it. We used to go swimming in there. Used to slide down the waterfalls in rushing water. It was fun. Today I'd probably get killed or break my back on a rock, but you know, when you're 12, 13 years old, you're made out of rubber bands and magic, and you don't get hurt. All right, let's find our way out of here. We'll get back to civilization with the drug needle park. Ironically, you know, and that's really the irony of that. You have this park down there on both sides of the river. One named after Officer Simard, who was killed in the line of duty, and one named after Officer Bonney, killed in the line of duty. And that's where people go to shoot drugs. So, welcome to 2024. Now, when I was a kid in 1974, people were shooting drugs. And in the big cities, they were doing it in needle parks. So in a sense, things haven't changed. It has just expanded to now pretty much every town in America has a needle park. Because people are hopeless. They have no hope. That's why I said when you come into Lewiston from Auburn, you see that lit up sign on the sign of the old mill. That was a miserable existence for some. You used to have child labor working in there before child labor laws in the 1920s. And children were working 8 to 10 hours a day. And I mean children, you know, 9, 10 years old. So they put this on the building that says hopeful, lit up at night with light bulbs, and it should just be changed to hopeless. I got no problems with Auburn here. Auburn's okay. It's Lewiston. Lewiston's the problem. It's mismanaged, too many liberals, people on the city council that used to work for the Department of Human Services, and they're all soft lefties, and they're you know, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They're gonna vote for Joe Biden because they're stupid. Because Joe Biden's not even the president. Somebody else is. He's just a figurehead, a puppet, a muppet. This actually looks more like a muppet. I'd like to see him come out sometime with a foam purple nose and Muppet hair. These people probably wouldn't even notice. They'd vote for him anyway. So, continuing on here, we're back down to Needle Park. Hopefully my car is still there in one piece. I didn't get broken into looking for change so they could buy some smokes, which I don't have in my car. I don't have anything in my car worth stealing. Certainly don't leave anything out in plain sight for people to look at walking by. So, these places like this have memories. Like I said, going off here and almost killing myself in a pile of rocks by accident. Hopefully I didn't just trigger a YouTube algorithm. I'm not promoting or condoning self-harm, so relax. But I did come down here, came off here, and I landed right here real hard. And that used to be a pile of drainage rocks in here. It was not a good landing, folks. I'm still, to this day, absolutely surprised that I didn't come out of it with a concussion, broken leg, broken shoulder, something. I just got a few scratches and some bruises. But I carried my brother's bike all the way home. We lived in the inner city at that time, which is now a pretty bad slum. A lot of the immigration has moved there. Some of them are trying to get ahead and do a good job, and then other ones are a problem, just like everywhere else. That's not a disparaging comment towards immigrants. Just come here legally, that's all. Come here legally. Come all you want, but come here legally. I have this sneaking suspicion that these other countries have cleaned out the dregs of their jails and mental institutions and sent them here. And we probably, because they don't want to pay for them. We'll send it to America. Let it be their problem. They're stupid enough to take everybody in with a face. So, well, I think people have finally had enough of it. And the Democrats are trying to change the voting demographic and districting. They're trying to get extra congressmen and things like that. It's all about power. We know that. So, truth of the matter is, many of these people that have come here, they're not even going to bother to vote. A lot of them are criminals. I was just reading an article today. I think it was ABC. It was an article that was talking about, since 2021, a huge crime surge in New York City. Robberies, rapes, violent crime. And these people are all disarmed by the government. Sitting ducks without enough money to move. So they're literally stuck there to endure Democrat rule. And these people, if you give amnesty so they become citizens, which is what the Democrats want, that was another reason why they did this, so they could have such an immigration flux that we will be forced to do amnesty because there'll be no way to deport everybody. Trump says he's going to do the biggest deportation program ever undertaken. And he is going to do that. And he is going to have lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. And they're going to try to delay until he's out of office. Like they did the last time with the wall. When they finally started building the wall, it was almost time for him to leave office. And then with a stroke of Biden's pen, he stopped the wall. Until it was started again recently, out of necessity. And I was reading an article today, Texas is paying for their own wall on their border with their own tax dollars. And Texas has the GDP of Russia, by the way. They have a pretty pretty generous GDP. So they're building their own wall, which looks just like the one Trump was funding with federal money. So, you know, God bless Texas for going against the federal government, because it's wrong, and we know it's wrong. So you're going to win with the voters on that, and anybody that tries to fight Texas to make them stop, the people aren't going to like that. So, all right, we're definitely going to come back this way in the summertime and the springtime when the snow is all melted. So we'll see grass out here, probably be kids playing, things like that. So we're going to go back across. If you have to go to the restroom, you can use this. I'm just kidding. It's a pet waste eliminator, because Lewiston Auburn has ordinances where you have to pick up your pet waste. I don't know if anybody does or not. For former Mayor John Jenkins. First African-American mayor of Lewiston and Auburn. He was mayor of both cities at one point in time. He was a landlord. We were going to rent a place from him a long time ago, but his rent was too high. So I still can't believe somebody was walking out on that ice down there. That's crazy. We got some winds dying down finally. We are going to have some nice warm weather coming up. Well, it's a nice little park. This is the same park when they have the balloon festival down here in August. Usually 3 weeks into August there'll be a balloon festival, and there will be hot air balloons parked right here, carnival rides, and carnival festivities for people. So it's a pretty popular park down this way. Hello. So when the balloon festival comes down here in August, I think this year I will come down here and get some footage of that. Also, it wouldn't hurt to come down here and get the fireworks display this July. I haven't attended a fireworks display down here in a long time, but I think this year I'm going to come down here. I'm going to have a GoPro on my head, and I'll bring the other video camera, the backup. I will combine different footage, I think, and They usually have the fireworks going off over the falls. Last year we had some rainy weather and they delayed it till the next day, which happens sometimes. Whew. You know, it's a little breezy and cool today. My face is getting cold, but the rest of my body is sweating like crazy. So I'm gonna cover my face with my cold shield. I'm masking for the cold, not a ridiculous virus. So we'll go down this way. Take a look at the ice and where people walked out foolishly, and they walked out on the ice. I mean, look at it. Right now you can hear the ice thermally cracking. See if we can hear it. You can see the ice rising and going up and down. You can see people threw rocks out on there. So it's like somebody comes along and not familiar with the area and this is frozen a little more, they'll think there's land there because there's rocks sticking out. But those rocks were thrown there on top of the ice, these rocks. So we're not going to fall for that trick, so we don't fall through the ice. But I do want to look down at this canal. Not a fan of walking in snow. I can see why snowshoes were invented. Now we got a fence here. I'm going to walk on the other side of it. If I fell off or something, that would be my own fault. So we'll look down here. Some water going underneath from the canal. Lewiston Auburn, that's the right move. That's what the old song used to be in the commercial on the radio. Probably was deceptive advertising. Ooh, this stuff is hard to walk in. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna take a look down, see what's going on down here. A bunch of people in their own world talking to themselves. Guess I'm guilty of it. This is some of the old mill structure. We'll look down over here. On this side, looks like that building's falling apart. Nobody's in it doing anything. Probably very unsafe inside, I would think. We look straight down. It is a beautiful day today. That I will say. So now we'll walk over this way from the park, and remember we got the balloon festival coming here. Should be nice. Be a good place to watch fireworks from also, because the fireworks are set off right over there, up in the air. Be able to see everything here. So hopefully nobody goes crazy and does anything crazy. And you never know, so that's why I say you're better off just carrying protection if you can, which I can and do and am and will always, as long as I can. Now this was something they advertised locally. There's a car wash right there. We're not going over there. We got a Hampton Inn over here, which is kind of funny because I actually saw an advertisement on an adult forum where they were having an adult gathering of similar-minded adults to do adult things. Let's just put it that way. I remember that. Lewiston, Maine, community health options. So this is a fitness court they put in here, and see that right there? There's no way in hell I am doing that. Not without pulling something, killing myself, excuse me, hurting myself. Well, I got to be careful of the algorithm. I don't want to do any self-harm, that's bad. But it tells you where to put your feet. And you use these rings. They'll probably strengthen your stomach. There's another set here. So we have one core. So you start at the beginning and 2 squats. We've got the squatting thing here, if you're into squatting. And we have this thing here. People grab this. I don't know what this does. I'm doing this right now, and you know what? That's not really doing anything. But I suppose if it wants to make people feel like they're doing something, it's all right. How you doing, sir? Not too bad. And over here it says 14 and over. How is this? Maintain agility. So you get this thing here. I would actually come here and have a video game thing on virtual goggles or something. You feel like you're driving a race car. We got some rings here. So it's kind of nice that they put this here, I suppose. Got some more rings over here. And you can see somebody doing pull-ups. Got a pull-up bar here. Oh, yeah, and then they have it. Oh, they have it wide. There's one. Good enough for me. I won't show you that I just cheated by stepping on the step. This here you could do sit-ups, crunches, and I don't know, maybe those are like stepping stairs, I guess. You jump across, back and forth. Or it's after you have a competition and you're like better than everybody else, you can have an award ceremony there, and you could have 6 places, or 3 categories with 2 places. Or, oh, you got these here too. So you could have like 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. Or if they still do that stupid everyone gets a trophy thing, then there's really no point in giving anybody any medals or trophies, right? Just get rid of those entirely. So, here we are back down on the Lincoln Street area, and this street that runs behind here. We're going to cut back across and get to my car. But before that, I'm going to finish my walk, but I'm going to finish recording. So I just wanted to get some recording in for the channel. show you a little bit of Lewiston Auburn. And like I said, when we have the balloon festival down here and fireworks, balloon festival is the third week of August usually. I remember that because my mother died in 1996, and she died on August 23rd. And they were having the balloon festival that week. So whenever I see the balloon festival, I think of my mother, but I think of her anyway. I don't need a balloon festival to do that. Lost Dad as well in 2012, actually the end of 2011. Buried him in February 2012. That wasn't fun either. So, now my mom died when I was in my 20s, so hopefully you love and respect your parents, and if you don't, you need to make some amends with them before they're gone, because let me tell you, they will be at some point. Fortunately, the last thing both parents said to me before they died was, "I love you." So that's nice. Feels good. You see what I mean? That's the difference. Don't be a jerk to your parents. You got to respect your parents. All right, so that is Simard Park down here in Lewiston, where they will have the hot air balloons here in August, fireworks display in July, and I think I am going to make a point to come down here during the fireworks. I think that would be good. I'm getting hungry too, all this walking. So I hope you enjoyed the view of the Barker Mill Dam, Needle Park on the way, the Little Androscoggin River, and thank you very much for watching and walking with me. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will definitely come back this way at some point. They have converted all of this that old mill, they have converted everything into businesses. There's a couple luxury apartments in there that you can rent, kind of a loft, like you see in the movies in places like New York and bigger cities where they have these lofts that I always thought was really cool when I saw them in movies. So pretty neat. So anyway, I might take a little stroll around the corner there, but I think for right now I might stop recording anytime now. Let me check my time, see what we're doing here, and I also want to make sure that I am still recording. I am. Sorry about that. I'm doing more talking than walking, so I'm not getting the mileage in. So I'm gonna walk a little bit. We get somebody with a bedroll and a beard here, probably living outdoors. Hi, how are you? How you doing, sir? Ooh, we're gonna have some warm weather this week. Yeehaw! Have a good day. So we'll come back this way shortly. I'm gonna take a walk and look down the canal here, because I'm still recording, and I want to look at this old train station building. Now, there's been a lot of talk about reopening a train station down here, but you're not really going to see that because they built one in Brunswick. You know, because Lewiston spent too much time talking about it instead of doing it. And you can see that little doorway right there. That was actually a tunnel that the tracks went through. So the tracks would come down across that trestle, and there's another hole like that off to the side. So there's old postcards of this building right here on Lincoln Street in Lewiston. And this was a train depot station. Somebody's cooking something good. I smell deep fried seafood. Ooh, that smells good. Station Grill Restaurant, burger, steak, and chicken. That's what's in there. Lewiston House of Pizza. We got a smokestack with smoke coming out of it. I didn't think they were using those for anything anymore. How about that? They must be using that for central heating, because nothing industrial is going on in that building anymore. So we're going to cut across here. Boy, I got to tell you, that smells really good. And I am not dressed to eat anywhere. I'm wearing military fatigues. They'll show up in there, they'll probably panic and call the police. Anyway, we're gonna walk across. Across here. This is called Child's Park. So Lewiston has done a good job with building these little parks. Looks like they're in the process of doing some work over there and erecting whatever the hell that is. I don't know if that was there before or if that's new. Well, we got Child's Park with a giant, formerly an industrial chimney. And this is that building that used to be an industrial textile mill that would make Civil War blankets and things like that. And I do believe the primary product made here was army blankets during the Civil War. And then after that they went into different linens, tent canvas, things like that, all through the 70s. And then in the 1980s things started dying up, and they continued to do so in the 90s, especially a lot of the shoe shops here. Lewiston was known for having shoe factories. Cole Haan's used to be here, a whole bunch of other things. Nap Shoe, a place that made slippers, Supreme Slipper. Those are all gone, but not forgotten by people old enough to remember. That's the parking garage I wanted to park in, but they changed it from free parking to have to pay to parking. And there's free parking over there, so I went over there. So we got the old Wiseman Bridge, 1927 it says. We used to walk up across the top of that on that arch. Guess I'll go up and take a look at it. Don't know how much battery I have left. We'll find out when it stops. As you can see, this is a old industrial warehouse kind of thing. And we got action screen printing here. There's somebody I know whose father owned it. I think he probably owns it now or works there or something. His name is Milo. Singer in local bands. Okay person, if you know him. So they converted this whole mill into businesses. So you got restaurants in there and all kinds of stuff. This used to be Cole Haan's shoes, a shoe shop. Pretty sure that's not what they're doing anymore. So with this crazy parabolic mirror, I guess you would call it that. I don't know what that sign says. Cabinetry and millwork. Central Maine cabinetry and millwork. So there's some woodworking going on in there. Didn't know that. So this is the Wiseman Bridge that we used to run over the top of this when we were kids, which I'd probably be afraid to now, because when you're a kid you don't have a sense of mortality. And who knows how long this is going to be here. They have redone this obviously, but they redid it to look old, which was, I thought, was a good move. And the real problem here is you see all this snow, and when they plow the snow here they have salt, which is basically calcium chloride now. It's more effective than sodium chloride, and it's really harsh on poured concrete. So these were all replaced. You could see where they were repaired, because these were all eaten away down to the metal rebar inside. Those two were as well. So they repair those, and probably 20-30 years from now they'll have to do it again, or they'll just build a new bridge. But it's kind of a historic monument. You know, it's been here since 1927 and it's poured concrete. So there used to be a music store, Carol's Music, way down at the end of my finger down this way. And before that, after that, it was Alibaba's Cave, which was a video game arcade we used to go to. This is the same canal that when they would drain it once every year or two, that we would sneak down in there and pick up all the empty bottles people threw off here while going by. And we filled up like this whole shopping cart of returnable bottles for video game money. And there used to be a place around the corner on the other side of Kennedy Park called Gagoo's, which was an arcade. And there used to be a place up at the Lewiston Mall. I don't remember the name of it, but at Victor News, which we saw in the last walk, there was a coupon booklet. And in that coupon booklet, you would see a coupon for free tokens. So you'd get like $4 in free tokens. It was a new arcade that was starting up. So what did we do? Well, we went down. I'm not going to walk down here and look at all this stuff because it's just businesses. Well, I might real quick just to get a shot of it. But anyway, what we did was, there was no limit on how many coupons you could use per person. They forgot to print that, and it was a new business, so they had to honor it. And we went there with a pile of these coupons we took out of these free coupon books. And yeah, I suppose we were jerks for doing it, but we were poor kids and we wanted to play video games. And we didn't have home video games at the time. It was in the early 80s. And so we had an absolute blast at the arcade, and they had to honor it. They couldn't refuse it. So we had a lot of fun with that. So we got this Bates Mill complex. You could probably look that up online and see what's in here for businesses or restaurants or apartments or whatever you might have in here, offices. I can see some hanging lights in there. And this is all a day gone by, an era that's gone. All built in the 1800s. Most of it during the Civil War. The Civil War was a big economic boon for New England. You know, because it was Civil War, it was serious. So all of this ended up saving the nation to be a corrupt, destroyed place by corrupt politicians. Corrupted absolutely. So this old thing is still here from... Now this little bridge right here when we were kids was closed off. They used to have that fenced off, but they've opened it up as a pedestrian crossway for the businesses that are in here. So ladies and gentlemen, the GoPro ran out of juice, so I'm going to finish up and wrap this up and say goodbye using my handheld. The audio on this is not as good, but it'll get the job done to say goodbye. And we have a fisheye lens. We have this Bates Mill behind me. And I want to thank you very much for watching my video and enjoying Lewiston Auburn with me, the good parts and the bad parts. Sorry about the syringes and stuff like that, but it is what it is, right? This is what we're trying to get rid of in society for everybody today. So make your vote count and make it important. Don't keep voting for the same people causing this. That's really important. If you're going to bite the bullet and vote for a damn Republican, then do that. It's important. They want to fix this stuff. So, thank you for watching, everybody. Keep the sun in your face, keep smiling, and be happy. And be good to one another. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. God bless.